one time I had a persuasive argument, or a persuasive speech, I should say, was when I was in a history class, was in my US history class just maybe a month or two ago, and the teacher was talking about the difference between capitalism, socialism, and communism. And he is a Republican, pretty hardcore Republican, very far um, right, and he was very biased almost. Actually, not almost. He was very biased in teaching that capitalism was the better system. And so I sort of intervened and interrupted him. And when he was explaining that socialism was this dictatorship where one person had rule over everything, his word was God's, his word was final. He had power over military, economics, everything, and no one could question. I interrupted. I've never been so mad in my life. And I used ethos and pathos to instead convey the argument that socialism was actually the better system. I used starting with logos in the sense that I went ahead and said, well, let's look at wealth distribution in America, very capitalist, and then let's look at wealth distribution in Norway, very socialist. And you see that the wealth distribution in America is completely unfair. If you were to take 100 people, line up in a row, and like have them be represent the U.S. population, the bottom 20% wouldn't even register. Meanwhile, the top 1%, the one guy at the very front would need his own screen to show how much money he has. It's incredible. And Norway is very nice and smooth. There is progression. Um, then I of course used ethos to carry out the argument that it's right to care for others in a society, not just for yourself. And it was pretty effective. I persuaded most of the class in favor of socialism versus capitalism.